Hello everyone, my name is Yaling Feng and I am applying to the music therapy program at NYU Steinhardt. I started piano lesson when I was 6, and as I grew older I started to learn guitar when I was 16 so I could play all my favorite songs. And I've received vocal training throughout my life, but it was during college I received formal vocal training in private lessons. And I majored in music business at NYU Steinhardt, where I took courses in music theory, oral comprehension, private lessons in both piano and voice. But after graduation, I started to work in a completely different field. I started to work as a physical therapist assistant with Chinese national level athletes and a foreign PT. It was during that time I realized I really do have a passion for helping others. I find the process very rewarding, but I felt like music was missing from my life. So I was trying to find a career where I can combine both of my passions, music and helping others. And that's where I discovered music therapy. So I reached out and started an internship at a professional music therapy center, and I observed, helped various music therapy sessions under the guidance of a professional music therapist. I really grew to love it, and I'm really considering it to be my lifelong career. That's why I am applying to the master's program to receive formal training in that regard. And why NYU? I have 3 different reasons. The first one is its abundance of clinical resources, including the Nordoff Robin Center. I feel like music therapy is really something that you need to learn under the clinical setting, because you have no idea what you're dealing with and you have to be versatile and quick to adapt. And that's why I feel like learning under clinical setting is really important. And the second one is I really find it interesting that NYU splits us into different groups where we are not only students but also clients to our professors. And I think it's really important to work closely with our music and as well as ourselves. I am always eager to learn more about myself all the time. And the third reason is, of course, I am an NYU alum, and I'm really in love with the Steinhardt community, and I'm really ready to embark on a new journey here at Steinhardt. So that is all for my introduction. Thank you very much.
what I do, we're not dreamer. What doing's hard work, but it takes time to change things, like goat's milk to butter, like ice blocks to water. This world goes blind when children are dying. I turn into dust, but you never stop trying. It's why I love you. You're as pure as the driven snow. Cold and clean, swirling over my skin. You cloak me, you soak right in, down to my heart. Everyone thinks they know all about me. They slap me with labels and spit out their fables. You came along and I knew it was lying. You saw the ideal me, and yes, that's the real me. This world is cruel with troubles aplenty. You asked for a reason, I've got 3 and 20 for why I trust you. You're as pure as the driven snow. It's why I trust you. You're as pure as the driven snow. When am I gonna stop being wise beyond my years and just start being wise? When am I gonna stop being a pretty young thing to guys? When am I gonna stop being great for my age and just start being good? When will I stop being cool to be quietly misunderstood? I'll blow out the candles, happy birthday to me. But your whole life ahead of you, you're only 19. But I fear that they already got all the best parts of me. And I'm sorry that I couldn't always be your teenage dream. When this wide-eyed affection and all good intentions start not being enough, when will everyone have every reason to call on my bluffs? When are all my excuses of learning my lessons gonna start to feel sad? Will I spend all the rest of my years wishing I could go back? I'll blow out the candles, happy birthday to me. But your whole life ahead of you, you're only 19. But I fear that they already got all the best parts of me. I'm sorry that I couldn't always be your teenage dream. They all say that it gets better the more you grow. They all say that it gets better
So, about my improvisation, I explored the theme grief or someone who is dealing with grief. And at first, when I sat down at the piano, I didn't really think about what I was going to explore or what I was going to do, but I was really drawn to the note 8, so I just started from there. And it became the chord A minor naturally. And then at first, you can hear that for both right hand and left hand, it is one singular note, or mostly they're singular notes. And for me, it's like when you are dealing with grief or you are missing someone, it is the one singular moment that kind of makes you start to think about that someone. And the left hand, you can hear throughout the piece, it is the more constant force, or it is the leading force. It takes a step downward for every phrase, and that's kind of how right hand follows. And the dynamic between the left hand and right hand stays throughout the piece. And for me, it was kind of like the left hand represents what you have to deal with throughout the day. Like you go to work, you go to school, or you deal with your daily chores. And the right hand is something that you are battling within your inner world. So it is becoming more and more complex throughout the phrases, and rhythmically it is more dynamic, or it has more different variations. But the left is always the one that is, okay, I'm going to change to another chord, and the right has to follow. So it is the same when you're dealing with grief. You are trying to get yourself together when you go to work or go to school, but it is something very different happening on the inside. And throughout the piece, it always comes back to that one singular note, A, and at the end as well. It is when you are done with your daily work, or when you come back home and you're relaxed on the couch or in your bed, you are reminded of that one singular moment. So it's no matter how you try to escape or battle it, it always comes back. Because to me, grief is not a really linear process. It is more like a cycle you have to go through. So yeah, that was about my piece. And for the process, it was really intimidating at first because I don't really do a lot of improvisation in my life. But then it was really freeing because I just let my music guide me, and it was a very freeing and rewarding experience. I will definitely do it more.